So your lawful evil henchman just found out that you are lawful good. Yeah, he doesn't storm off. He doesn't attack you. You know, he trusts you less, starting right now, by a specific written down percentage. Gary built a whole table on this, you know, page 36 of the DMG. And we're going to talk about that today. So you guys, welcome back to the DM and Friends. Gary wrote the manual and I run it. And this is our alignment arc. This is actually video 4 out of 5. So we're coming to a close here, guys. All right, so 3 videos in, right? Alignment is a cosmic force. We've kind of already talked about that. It's a mechanic that you're required to enforce as a DM. And there are 9 real philosophies, right, behind it, not 9 vibes. So today, like I said, we are going to take alignment off of the character sheet completely because Gary used this exact same system to run your entire world. So, open literally any monster manual entry and there is a line that most players, you know, and DMs skim right past. And that is the alignment section. So if you look at page 75 of the orc entry in the monster manual, this guy right here, it says lawful evil for the orc, right? Well, and that's not just flavor text. And every single monster in the book has got an alignment, you know, right in the stat block, you know, and next, you know, right next to dice, you know, hit dice and damage. You know, Gary considered it exactly as mechanically important as how hard, you know, the thing hits you. So, and some entries get more specific than the flat label. You know, you'll see things like, you know, neutral and then in parentheses evil on certain creatures, right? You know, the exact same shades of tendency ideas from the player's handbook, you know, 9 alignments, right? This isn't a separate system. It's the same 9 boxes, you know, stamped onto every single creature in your world. So here's where it gets useful, you know, for you specifically as a DM. And, you know, page 36, the loyalty of henchmen and allied creatures rules. And that's right here in the DMG, right here where it says loyalty of henchmen and allied creatures. Gary built an entire modifier table for alignment distance, right? So he writes in here, he says alignment is league associated group, 1 place removed, 0%, 2 places removed, minus 15, 3 places removed, minus 35, and he goes on. And he says there's an example in here too where where is it? He says that lawful evil to lawful neutral equals 1 place removed. Lawful evil to lawful good equals 2 places removed. Lawful evil to chaotic good equals 3 places removed. And that's on page 36 of the DMG, right? So, you know, read that middle example again, right? Lawful evil to lawful good is only 2 places removed, not 4. You know, the chart isn't a straight line, it's a wheel. And Gary measured trust in actual steps around that wheel. So there's a second table right next to it, grading the liege's own alignment, right? So alignment of the liege modifier, right? Lawful good gets a plus 15, and that's alignment of liege. It's on page 37 right here. You know, neutral would get a 0%. Chaotic evil would get a minus 10%. Sorry, minus 20%. Wow. And that's on page 37 of the DMG. You know, so a lawful good leader starts every henchman's relationship with a kind of a built-in trust bonus. A chaotic evil one starts in the hole. Before a single die is ever even rolled, right? And that's not vibes. That's a number on a page. That's on a table. And this is all in the loyalty section for, base loyalty modifiers for, of henchmen's, hirelings, anybody that basically is going into service with you. And that includes too when you get into domain play, And, this runs also with your, let's talk about, not just stopping at a henchman, right? When your players go hire a cleric, to cast a spell, Gary says the same thing applies, right? And this is on page, let me think, 102 of... Yes, 102. Yes, I am folding my book. He says that when a non-cleric, spellcasters are hired, they are likewise considered alignment and personal risk in setting fees, right? It is also worth mentioning that NPC spellcasters are not going to take continual interruptions, right, too kindly, right? Even if the party is of the same faith and alignment. And like I said, that's on page 102 and 103. So same alignment gets your party a better rate is basically what that is. Different alignment, and that spellcaster, is charging you like, is charging you like a stranger, because to their alignment, you basically are one. So I want to talk a little bit of a supplementary kind of a Dragon Magazine article. This Dragon Magazine article I want to talk about builds on what Gary wrote in the DMG. It's not the rule book, obviously. It's not the DMG or the Player's Handbook, but it takes this same idea and pushes it somewhere generally fun, and that's Dragon Magazine number 24, April 1979. Lawrence Schick's choir practice at the First Church of Lawful Evil. Ramifications of alignment. Takes a single alignment and builds an entire fictional institution around it. A church with its own orthodoxy, right? Its own internal politics, its own version of respectability. It's satire, but it's also I'd say a generally kind of used model. Alignment isn't just a trait on a stat block. It's a culture that you can build a whole faction out of. That's the real lesson underneath the loyalty tables, I think. Alignment isn't just telling you how one NPC feels about your party. It's telling you how entire organizations in your world are going to actually work. So let's put it all together, right? If there's one thing I want to really emphasize about alignment is when you do hire henchmen and other people for services, alignment's going to be considered in that 100%. Especially in loyalty. When you have somebody, it's huge in the fact that what the liege's alignment is and what the NPC or the henchman or the hireling or whatever his alignment is, and that those differences is going to adjust that score, pretty significantly in some cases. So, and it's funny in my Hommlet Dark campaign, the players who were generally good, right, ended up hiring Zert, and we all know that Zert is evil, right, and had some motivations, but he hung out with them and became loyal in certain situations. I actually rolled loyalty for them, and it was passable every single time, even though in the back of his mind he was waiting for that opportunity and to do bad things to the party. But it's interesting that, and I like that as a DM. I like those random dice rolls. I could have just played it where, the first time he got a chance, he was going to double cross him or try to murder him or something like that. But the dice told the story differently, right? So let's talk. The next time you negotiate with a henchman, a fee, right? Or a hireling has a chance to betray the party, or a magic user or a cleric names a price. Don't guess. Check the wheel and count the places removed. Gary already did that math for you in the DMG. So alignment has never just, is or was never just a role-playing prompt for your players. It's a running tool for you. It tells you how every single monster in the book behaves by default. And it tells you in exact percentages how every single NPC in your world actually, feels about the party standing in front of them. So you guys, next week, and here's my, I got it folded in half. Let me unfold my DMG. So next week, which is going to be the finale of this, guys, look. All right, so next week, the finale of the alignment series will be happening. I'm going to record the next video, and that's going to conclude our alignment series. So, and I'm going to say, the last video in this series is I'm going to talk about what actually happens mechanically when a player, a character breaks alignment. It's not a warning, not a talking to. It is a real painful written down consequence that I don't think a lot of DMs play it that way. And me being a raw DM, AD&D Dungeon Master, dude, I play it this way and it is brutal. So we're going to talk about that in the finale of this series. So, well, if you've been treating, that alignment line as just a stat block, it's flavor text, right? Go back and treat it as an actual lever instead. It is always meant, it was put there to actually move things. So, drop a comment, you guys. Has NPCs, have you guys had an NPC's alignment ever quietly worked against the party without anyone realizing why? I want to hear about it. And yeah, so please put it in the comments. Let's talk about your guys' experience with alignment and NPCs. Dude, I got so many stories. But the Zert one is the one that is the most recent one to mind. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. So you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this alignment series. We got one more to go. I am DM Angelo. Keep gaming. Take care of each other. And love your books. Maybe not as much as I love them. But bye-bye.